You ever drink Bailey's out of Modern Warfare 2? I do. In order to celebrate a great Timberwolves win over the Los Angeles Clippers with a D because they were out Paul George and Kawhi Leonard tonight. It was a back-to-back for them where they got slaughtered by the Nuggets last night. They got blown out before the first half was even done. So even though Paul George Kawhi barely played, they still get tonight off. Because the Clippers are just completely doka about the regular season. It's kind of gross to watch. I don't like it, but whatever. I think it's just going to hurt them in the end, which is good for all Western Conference teams, so that's fine. Not good for the Western Conference is what they saw from the Timberwolves tonight. Rudy Gobert has maybe his best game as a Timberwolf. It's close to up there, but I thought there was a lot of mistakes from him still. But through large stretches of that game, he was extremely dominant. And if we get that Gobert on a consistent basis, this team is going to be so much better because he was a formidable presence around the rim tonight, making people miss, blocking shots. His defensive rebounding was a lot smarter. He was disciplined and timing his jumps better. It's not like he stepped out from being anything else than he was in Utah, but you finally saw like the things he was supposed to be great at. He really was tonight. And he even started the game super well, drew 4 fouls to start the game, and we were in the bonus within 2 minutes of the match. We didn't really capitalize on being in the bonus for 10 minutes of that first quarter a lot, but it was still just a huge thing to set us up for success. As good as Gobert was tonight, I mean, he's still Gobert, where there's just so many clunky, awkward plays that he makes that it's just like, this is a professional basketball player that can't do that. And although he had 5 turnovers tonight, which is a ton for someone that never handles the ball, he probably caused about 8 or 9 of the team's 19. So he was the cause of a lot of loss of possession, which was really the only bad thing that the Wolves did tonight. And I will say, whatever you see by Gobert's name for turnovers each night, you can probably double for how many he's like the root cause of because of just fumbling passes and stuff. And a lot of Wolves really stepped up tonight. D'Angelo Russell was superb without really having a deep threat jump shot tonight. Didn't look too good from 3. I think he maybe made 1, but he really did his damage with floaters in the lane, and that's kind of D'Lo at his best when he works those crafty floaters in and then works around the weenuses and gets those mid-range shots that he's so good at. That's kind of optimal D'Lo, and then whenever he gets cooking from 3, that's just like the cherry on top. Our forwards continue to play really well. Jaden McDaniels and Kyle Anderson starting. They both played very well. The interesting thing about them, they're the best passers to Gobert on the team. Like, every lob that they throw just about is always on point to Gobert, which Kyle Anderson, he's practically a point guard, makes sense. Jaden McDaniels does make some of the dumbest passes at times where it's like really bad turnovers. But as far as interior passing goes, I think Jaden McDaniels might be one of the best on the team, which is really just Kawhi Red. The last wing of Taurean Prince playing in his second game back. Made 3 threes tonight. You could just see the shooting that Taurean brings, even though it wasn't a spectacular game out of him. It's just great to see and something this team desperately needed. And last year, I actually thought that he was the best catch-and-shoot shooter on the Timberwolves. Even though Malik Beasley led us in threes, he was kind of inconsistent and would have a lot of off nights. I kind of trusted Taurean the most to be that role player that would just make every open shot and be really dependable. Although I have to say, Kyle Anderson's shooting like 40% from 3 right now, which is crazy. Naz Reid only gets 9 minutes due to, I think, back spasms, but gets 10 points for us in that stretch. Jalen Noel was a stud off the bench again. Still hasn't found his feet with 3-point shooting much. That's always his weakness. But he's starting to give us a lot more consistent scoring. Also, 6 assists tonight, playing at a very high level. I gush about him basically every video. You know how I feel. Anthony Edwards would only give us 5 points tonight, but he did have limited minutes due to hip soreness. I think he only played 22 minutes and left due to that. But he also gave us 5 assists and played some really good defense. That's a part of his game that he's just continued to improve on. And with him, it's kind of like he makes big defensive plays. Those are always kind of energy boosters at home and stuff that are super helpful to have. That's a 3-game winning streak for the Wolves after the 6-game losing streak. Playing pretty well right now. Just fun to see. I like it.